When looking over the Denver Broncos roster, multiple positions seem loaded. They either have proven talent, plenty of potential, or maybe even a combination of both of these at those positions. However, some other positions or areas seem to be a little weaker when looking over the roster. Of course, looking at paper is much different, and come game time, these may not actually be a weakness. The most obvious position that is a weakness is at offensive tackle. Garrett Bowles is the best guy at that position, and with his inconsistency, that is saying a lot about the others at the position. Elijah Wilkinson doesn't inspire confidence after a very rough 2019 season, and the new addition of DeMar Dotson has to actually win the job, and even then he is just solid. The depth at tackle is actually even worse too. Another area of weakness for the Broncos, and looking worse the more that camp goes on, is their coverage play from the linebacker position. They lost Justin Strnad for the season and Todd Davis for a few weeks. As a result of these injuries, they have gone to looking at free agent linebackers like Mark Barron, who is terrible in coverage. They also moved Justin Hollins from his hybrid role to a full-time off-ball linebacker role. There is also a concern about the Broncos secondary, but it falls with their depth and not their starters. Their starters do have concerns, but as long as they're out there playing, then Denver should be fine. If they miss time though, be warned, because the depth has plenty of issues. While Trey Marshall is stepping up for the third safety job, at corner they have a four-man battle with no one being consistent enough to separate from the others. This final weakness is one of those that come game time, it may no longer be a weakness, and that is the special teams play. It's one area that you just can't judge on paper, so until we see them in action, it's going to remain a weakness. Signing Sam Martin should help with the punting unit, but they have so much growth to do as a return unit and in actual coverage. Hopefully 2020 is the year they finally show up as a strength after so many years as a weakness. When looking over the roster on paper, these four areas really stand out as a weakness for the team and look that way so far through training camp. Denver can really find themselves held back as a result of these. No roster is ever perfect, not even if they win a Super Bowl. I mean, Denver's Super Bowl winning team had a strong defense, but offense and special teams were lackluster. But it does come down to how they can minimize the negative impact of the weaker areas. For Mile High Huddle and Sports Illustrated, I'm Eric Trickle.